So I just had a question from a client about video, streaming video, and uploading it to their website and providing it. And I get this question a lot, and I thought it was a great idea to get it out here, get my thoughts out here. So basically, the question was, I've got these number of videos that I want to provide. Let's say it's a summit or a course or just videos you want to a video series or something you're doing, whatever it is. Do you upload it to your website or do you tap into a Vimeo or YouTube situation? And so there's a lot of conversation we can have about the privacy and public sharing and whether it's public or private content or whatever it is. But really, that aside, when it comes to streaming video and whether or not you're going to upload it to your website or tap into a network like YouTube or Vimeo, the conversation inevitably is around bandwidth. And if you don't know what bandwidth is, it's basically the amount of data that travels across the internet when somebody goes to your website. So if somebody goes to your website and you've ever seen the page load, that loading is the transfer of data from one server to your browser to your computer to compile all of these things. So there's style sheets, there's scripts, there's images, there's text, there's all kinds of stuff that lives on a server somewhere. And your browser needs to load that data. So that data you can imagine coming from, who knows, might live in Texas, right? The server in Texas or Tallahassee, who knows? It's coming across a long distance and it ends up in your computer on your browser and it's cached in there. It's downloaded there. It's in your world. That journey is bandwidth. So that brings up the whole conversation of website optimization and things like that. Why do you want to optimize these things? Why does it load faster when it's optimized? Because there's less bandwidth, right? That's why certain hosting companies, and maybe Wix, Weebly, Squarespace, or whatever, they'll say, oh, up to 10,000 visits or 20,000 visitors. Well, it's not really about the number of visitors. What they're saying is on average, a visitor takes up this much bandwidth, and we're going to allot you a certain portion of bandwidth. Now, think about it this way. An image is probably, a megabyte or two, maybe 5 megabytes if it's big. Video is like, if I were to record this, maybe even a meeting or an hour long video, that's several gigabytes, maybe 50 to 100 gigabytes, a magnitude more. So if somebody comes to your website and loads an image, boom, it's, 4 or 5 megabytes, not a big deal. If somebody comes to your website and loads a video and watches a full video, now we're talking about gigabytes of data on your dime. And that's kind of where it comes into, choosing where to go. I always opt for tapping into a Vimeo or YouTube because when you upload it to them and you take that embed code, you're taking that video and embedding it into your website. Here's the magic. When somebody comes to your website and watches that video, it's using YouTube or Vimeo's bandwidth. Let me say that again. You embed that video onto your website. Somebody comes to your website and watches that video. It's on YouTube and Vimeo's bandwidth. So you're not paying for that. Now, if you want to provide download, maybe Vimeo and YouTube, they do provide that option. So again, that would be the best. You could also upload like a zip file or just the MP4 file to your website because it's less often that somebody would download that. If they did, that would be counted towards your bandwidth, but it's less often. Most times people are going to go there and view it and then go away. So more often than not, you're going to get a view over a download. So can you provide a download? Sure. Can you provide a download from the other platforms? I think so. So as much as you can, offload it. Otherwise, you're going to possibly run into bandwidth limitations. Your hosting provider, website provider, whatever, may up your bill basically, right? If it happens over and over and exceeds it too much or too consistently or whatever. Anyway, that's my idea here. And I wanted to get this out there and to open the conversation because I know there's a lot of confusion around it. It doesn't always make sense, but that as best I can explain this as if you're putting a window to YouTube or Vimeo or whatever into your website. So it's not really on your website. That video is not part of your website. The bandwidth that gets delivered is not part of your website. It's just a better situation. Plus, they optimized for video anyway, so it's going to be a better experience. It's going to play better and whatever. So that's my idea, and I wanted to get this out there and have the discussion. So if you have questions, comments, drop them in the comments below, and let's talk about this. I know it's confusing, so I'm here to clarify.